Here are the 10 smartest data entry skills you should know in Excel. Welcome to Tech Corner. My name is Ukemetom. Now let's get started. Number 1, autofill series. The autofill function is a very powerful function that can help you with your data entry and saves you a lot of time. Now, in the case of entering 1, 2, 3 in a serial number, you can choose to use the autofill to hasten your work by either highlighting this and click and drag to complete the rest, or you can choose to put 1 here and then go to the fill series and then come down here to columns, since you're entering in columns, and choose linear. Now the step value is 1, then here you put the stop value. Alright, so let's say our stop value is 70, and then you hit enter. You can also use that with dates. Alright, so you want only weekdays. Now you highlight the rest of the cells since you don't know where it stops. Go to the fill handle and come to series. So you choose date this time. Click here on columns, choose weekday. Since you already highlighted the area that you want to stop, so you don't need to choose stop value, so you just simply click OK, and that saves you a lot of time. Number 2, flash fill. Now, similar to autofill is the flash fill function. The flash fill function only recognizes an existing data and duplicates it based on your command. Now let's say we want to add email address to these names, so you use the flash fill function. Type the first name and then add at Gmail. All you need to do now to do the rest is to press Ctrl E and it will duplicate the rest. Ctrl key and E. Saves you a lot of time. Now it can also be done with numbers. So in this case, let's say we have the invoice number plus the number of units merged together in one cell here, and you want to separate them. The invoice number should be here and the number of units sold should be on another column. Now this is what you simply do. First, we copy out the invoice number by pressing Ctrl E, and now we go for the unit and do the same. Ctrl E, and it copies out the unit sold. Now you can simply delete this one. Number 3, custom autofill. Now the autofill function can work with dates like Monday to Sunday, or you can also autofill January to December. But when it comes to custom text like a list, you cannot use the autofill function to fill that. Now in that case, you use custom autofill, so you can add your own custom list. So let's do that. So you go to the file menu and come down to options and then click on advanced, and then you scroll down to edit custom list. Now here are those lists that you always find when you do the autofill function. So you can actually add yours here by simply typing the entries here separated by commas, or you can go over here and upload a list that you already have in Excel. So you come over here and then go to your list, select the list and upload, and then click import, and it adds to the custom list. Now you click OK and OK. With that, anytime you need that list, you simply type one of the names in the list and click and drag, and the rest will happen. Now let's see. For example, ecom, and then you click and drag, and you have the rest of the local governments. Number 4, use autocorrect for autocomplete. The autocorrect function is used to correct misspellings in your typing, but you can also use it for making abbreviations for long names. For example, let's say NPF, and that gives me Nigerian Police Force, and if I type Hopeward, and it gives me Hope Wardell Training Institution instead of going through the stress of typing the long name. Let's see how it works. So you go to the file menu, come down to options and click on proofing. You come to autocorrect options, and here is where you add the names. You add your name here, let's say NNPC, and then here the full spelling, and click on add and click OK and OK. Now anytime you type nnpc and hit enter, it will automatically write in full. If you'd like to learn more about these productivity tools, we have a complete course including keyboard typing, word processing, data analysis in Excel, PowerPoint, Internet, Canva, and ChatGPT. You finish the course within 2 months. And if you want a private one-on-one class, we have Excel proficiency course here for you, where you can complete within 2 weeks or less than a month. Now let's get back to the tutorial. Number 5, merge multiple worksheets. Where you have to make the same entry in multiple worksheets. For example, I have the name here and I have the same name in the rest of the worksheet, okay, and I want to change the company name from Heritage Lounge to maybe Howard Hotels, and the rule of thumb is they must be in the same column or in the same row that you want to effect changes. Alright, so what I do is I simply click on one worksheet and then I press the Ctrl key and click on the rest of the worksheets and then effect my changes on the first worksheet. Now I change this to Howard Hotels, and when you come over here you can see that the changes has been effected to the rest of the worksheets. Number 6, use text to columns. To separate this data into different columns so that you have customer ID in one column, the names and the rest, you have to use the text column function. So here we go, you click on the data tab and then click on text columns and you click on next, and the separator are the comma, so you're going to choose comma as the separator, and you can see it has already separated them into different columns. So you click on next and that's all. So you click on finish and you have them separated into columns. So you can do it better by clicking here and separating them, and they are beautifully done in just a few seconds. Number 7, use Excel inbuilt form. When working with a table in Excel, there is an Excel inbuilt form that can be used to enter data into a data table or an Excel table. Now this is where you can find that form. Right click on the quick access toolbar and click on customize quick access toolbar, and when you come over here you change this from popular commands to all commands. The form will be in the list of commands that are available here. So you simply press F for form and then you scroll down to where you find the form. Now this is the form we are looking for, so you click on the form and click on add and click OK. Now to activate the form, so you click inside the table or data table that you want to use the form for, and then click on the form, and then you have here, you can see that the same data we have on the data table is here on the form. So you simply enter your data here, for example number 1, and then you put the name, gender is male, and state of origin is Akwa Ibom. When you're done, you hit enter and it moves to the next one, number 2, and that's how you continue filling the rest of the table. Saves you a lot of time. Number 8, Excel table and pivot tables. A table in Excel is another tool that can help you hasten your work in working with data entry. In a case where you are not using a table, you enter equal sign. Let's say you want to multiply the price by quantity and then you hit enter. Now all you have now is the result for that cell. You have to drag that down to do the rest of the entry. If you use a table, you just have to enter one and hit enter, and the rest will duplicate the same formula. Now let's convert this to table. You click inside your data table and then press Ctrl T, hit enter, and it converts to table. This time around, equal sign, quantity multiplied by price, and it calculates the rest of the cells without having to click and drag the rest of the calculation. Number 9, Excel macros. The Excel macro is used to record some repetitive actions that you don't want to repeat every time. So in this case, let's say I want to copy the name from the form here to the table. Instead of doing that all the time, I'll rather fill the names here and then click on submit, and the names will move automatically to the table. So let's record the process. For macro, you click here where you see ready, and then you give your macro a name. Let's say I'm calling this one form. It's going to be in this workbook, so I accept that and click OK. Now the process has started, so I'm just going to copy this data from here and I move it down here first and paste it as transpose, and then move it from there again to the table. Now this time I'm filling in the table, so I click on the parts that I want to put, and then I come over here and click on insert copied cells, shift cells down, so that the one that will come over here will shift the previous one down and become the newest data. So I click that and that is done. All right, and then I come over to the macro and I delete this and also delete this. Now I've finished doing my macro, so I click on stop recording. Now the macro is completed. So each time I click on submit, that's what will be happening. The next thing we are going to do now is to assign that macro to this button. I right click here and click on assign macro. The name of our macro is form, so I click on form and click OK, and that's it. So anytime I'm entering a new data now, okay, so once I click on submit, it does the rest of the thing. Simple. So you go over there to the table and you see Wilson is now the number 1. Saves you a lot of time of data entry. And number 10, use data validation. The drop down list in data validation is another way you can speed up your data entry task. For example, I want to enter list of products here. Okay, each time I want the product, I will have to type the name of the product over here. So instead of that, I'll just insert a list where I can select one of the products and use. Now let's go to data validation by clicking on data tab, and then you go to data validation and select list, and here under source you go to where you have your list already typed and highlight all the data there and upload and click OK. Now you have the list here. You can see that I can autofill that to the rest of the cells, so I can simply select of the time I want a product. I can simply select that, and that saves me a lot of time of typing. Now here is a bonus. Use Excel formulas and keyboard shortcuts. Working with keyboard shortcuts will help you work smarter with your data entry task. For example, let's say you want to fix the columns and the rows here. You can simply click on the angle here and then double click on the middle of any of the columns, and it fixes the columns, and you do same with the rows and fix the rows. If you want to add a new column or a new row, you can simply press Ctrl spacebar and then you press Ctrl Shift plus to add a column. Or maybe you want to delete, you can press Ctrl minus to delete. For rows, if you need a new row, you can press Shift spacebar and then Ctrl Shift plus to add a new row. You can also press the Alt key and F1 to insert a new chart. And if you have some omitted entries like this that you want to fill in the blanks, you can simply press Ctrl G and it takes you to go to Alt S special and then click on blanks and OK. From there you can type whatever you want to fill in with. Let's say you want to fill that place with not applicable, and then you press Ctrl key and enter, and it fills all the blanks immediately. Now let's also look at some very useful formulas that can help you with your data entry. For example, let's say you want to pick out the days of the dates. All right, so simply type = text and then click on the date, and the value is there, so you open quotes and type DDDD and close the quote and close bracket and hit enter. Now you can autofill that. And if you need some random numbers to fill in, some data, so you can use rand between to arrange that number. For example, equal sign rand between, and then you type the lowest number. Let's say the lowest number is 18, comma, the highest number is 40, close bracket, and hit enter. Now you can use this to autofill the rest. And if you also need to remove the formulas so you can have only the numbers, just press Ctrl C to copy and then Ctrl Shift V to paste only values, and the formulas are gone. Now that will be all. Thank you for watching. If you want to learn more on Excel, we can have a one-on-one class where you can learn all the formulas and functions and keyboard shortcuts. It's beginner friendly. You can send me a WhatsApp message directly, or if you need to learn more about productivity tools, we have a full course comprising of file management, MS Word, PowerPoint, Excel, including ChatGPT and Canva. Now the course duration is just 2 months. Send me a WhatsApp message directly now and we get talking and fix your class. And see you in the next edition of Tech Corner.